Our top story at this hour: after receiving a bomb threat, an IndiGo flight 6E5314 operating from Chennai to Mumbai made an emergency landing at Mumbai Airport. After landing in Mumbai, the flight crew followed protocol and the aircraft was taken to an isolation bay as per the security agency's guidelines. All passengers have safely disembarked in the aircraft. The aircraft is currently undergoing inspection. Post completion of all security checks, the aircraft will be positioned back in the terminal area, said the airlines in a statement. This is a second bomb threat to an IndiGo flight within a week's time. Earlier, on 28th of May, an IndiGo flight to Varanasi from Delhi with 176 passengers on board received a bomb threat. However, later it turned out to be a complete hoax. But the scare remains. However, even if it's a hoax, according to the law, according to the police authorities, it can lead a person who's doing this kind of a hoax to prison. He or she can be taken into custody. We had spoken earlier to several legal eagles on that entire issue, whether the threat is sent on a phone, whether through email or through via any other media. What happens is that when it turns out to be a security threat to one or many people and involves a bomb, then it is supposed to be taken seriously. Like I said, this is the second time. Over 28th of May it happened, and within 4 days, yet another threat. This time around, Chennai to Mumbai flight. All the passengers, fortunately, are now safe. The flight, which made an emergency landing, all the passengers disembarked very, very safely. The security drill was, of course, carried out, and the aircraft has been taken to an isolation bay for further security checks. The plane, which shall soon return to terminal. Let me now go across to my colleague Shriya Kundu for a live update on what really goes on. Shriya, hi. You know, like I said, this is the second time over. First, it was Delhi, Varanasi, and this time around it is Chennai, Mumbai. What is going on? Isn't the airline taking these threats? I know it's a hoax, Shriya. The first time around it turned out to be a hoax. But look at the plight of the passengers. I mean, the Indian aviation seems to be going through turbulence. I mean, we saw Air India passengers being stranded for 20 hours, some of them fainting, and now these bomb hoax one after the other, Shreya.
Absolutely, absolutely, Sudha. In fact, when we speak of the aviation sector in general, globally, in fact, at this point, we see several cases coming up of, as you mentioned, turbulences, and now the latest one being of bomb threats. In fact, before we get into the analysis of all that's been taking place, I'm just going to read out a press statement that's been issued by the IndiGo, because remember, this, for our viewers, is the information we're getting to them. This is the third bomb threat that's coming in within the last 1 week, and this is just with IndiGo Airlines itself. Third bomb threat that's coming in. One that had come in only a few days ago with regards to a Varanasi bound flight from Delhi. The flight had been completely evacuated back then as well, because they had found a note which had the word bomb written in them. That's how they had received the threat. And in this case, this is flight 6E5314 that we are bringing you the IndiGo press statement of. They were operating from Chennai to Mumbai, and the crew followed all protocol, the set protocol, the guidelines were followed for evacuation. Currently, they're still going through inspection, so we do not know whether the threat is actually a hoax or not this time. The other two times that it had happened, it was indeed a hoax call that had been received. And post completion of the checks, the airplanes is again going to be brought back to the terminal, from where it will again be prepared to take off. But currently, yes, definitely the situation has become extremely harrowing for all passengers who have been taking, who do in fact do depend on airlines to travel across the country and in fact across the globe at this point.
Shreya, last January, when there were huge queues and there was much chaos witnessed at the airport, civil aviation had taken a stand that they need to solve this. I don't think anything has happened. And Shreya, let me tell you, in that what had happened was that if you and I are stranded and we need help, the airline, the onus was on the airline to do what it could. Don't you think, of course, like you said, let's be careful, let's wait. But from 28 to now, I don't know what IndiGo has really done, because in the earlier case, they had bombs stuck onto the lavatory, and this time around, yet another hoax.
Absolutely. So, that in fact, at this point, let me just take you through a timeline of these cases that have in fact been seen. It's from roughly around 26th April that the first bomb threat was seen for this year, if we are just to focus on bomb threats. April 26th, in fact, this was Kolkata and Jaipur, airports which had received a particular threat with regards to bomb. Then it was April 28th and April 29th. Mumbai, and also there were 30 airports under the Airport Authority of India which had gotten such threats. Next we had May 12th, May 15th, May 26th, May 28th and 29th and 31st. This covered various regions. In fact, we had Varanasi, we had 20 hospitals in Delhi as well that had gotten the bomb threat. We also had Chennai, then the other airplane of IndiGo that was Varanasi bound had also found this threat that had been addressed to them. And then also recently it was the Bengaluru airport. So what we see at this point, and another one was at Srinagar. In fact, at this point what we see is, it is these main metro cities or the cities which have quite a few footfall in the airports that are seeing these bomb threats, either in the form of emails or in the form of letters or papers that are being left to them. Though so far they've all been hoaxes, but definitely, as you raise the issue of authorities and what have the authorities been saying about this, there in fact hasn't been any clear-cut indication from them with regards to any standard procedure being put or any added security being put to ensure or prevent the prevention of such threats. But also we also need to take a look at the fact that the only thing that's coming from the authorities side in the form of a response at these during these cases coming to the fore is the fact that they have been releasing press statements about what they have been doing with the threat after the threat has come in. But definitely at this point the question remains, what are the authorities doing to ensure that such threat calls don't continue, keep continuing.
All right, and for those who've just joined us, this is the kind of sections that can be applied whenever there is a hoax bomb threat given. Section 505B and 5052 for causing fear and alarm. Section 507, which is criminal intimidation by an anonymous communication. And also application of section 120B, which is punishment of criminal conspiracies. Those are, even if it's a joke, someone is playing a prank, one needs to take cognizance that it is a crime. It is not just a joke that everyone laughs about it, because you're causing fear, panic and alarm to loads of people who are in a constricted space like a plane. So therefore, it's not a joke. And you may recall that earlier also, there were bomb threats to several schools in the Delhi NCR regions and also to certain hospitals. So this is becoming like a trend, as it were. But as of now, on this Chennai Mumbai flight, IndiGo flight, all the passengers are safe, and the plane has been taken to the terminal area, to the Bay Area, to see that further security checks are carried out, and further, whatever further steps have to be taken are taken.